Good evening, everyone. Thank, thank you. My name is Leah Chelaby, and I'm the Vice President of Community Engagement and Programming here at the War Memorial. I'm so excited to welcome you here, both our in-person audience and our audience watching online, because we are live streaming tonight. That's the glory of technology these days, especially in today's day right now. So we're happy to reach people here and far. Tonight we're in for a treat. I see some flashes of green here in the crowd. So we're here on a beautiful St. Patrick's Day, and we're really we're in for a treat tonight. Brad Phillips, our featured performer tonight, is a musician's musician. He is a multi-instrumentalist, a fiddler, a mandolinist, a guitarist, a vocalist. He really does do it all. And his set tonight is themed The Tales of a Midwestern Sideman, which kind of tells the best way through song and through music about his journey and his influences from old-time music, American music, to Celtic fiddling, to classical music. He's a classically trained violinist who branches out beyond the line of classical music. So I'm so excited to welcome my friend, Brad Phillips.
Hello. I better start with some fiddle tunes, right? Irish fiddle tunes, perhaps, maybe. Hello again. I'm so happy to be doing this. This is such a lovely space. I'm so happy to play for a real audience. Normally, I get on Facebook Live at like 10:30 at night and like, man, maybe 3 people will be tuned in. But this is so much better than that. So, I'll get started with some Irish tunes. All right. Make some room. Don't worry, it's safe. Thank you. Thank you. So it occurred to me while I was playing that, I was in an Irish band for about 10 years called Millish, and we toured around the country and went to Germany and Ireland and Scotland, and on St. Patrick's Day every year we would play all day, starting at like 7 or 8 in the morning. And one time we played in Ypsi in the morning, Dearborn in the afternoon, Grand Rapids later in the afternoon, Kalamazoo, and then South Bend. And that set of tunes was one of our sets that we played in that band, and we never knew the names of those tunes. So we just called it 3 tunes in G. And that's still what I call it to this day, because I still don't know what those tunes are. Oh, no. I know what the jig is. It's called the Humors of Ennis Diamond. There will be a test later. Anyway, so this is somewhat my version of Springsteen on Broadway, except it's the tale of a Midwestern sideman. So it's like I try to build like a little narrative, like a good little storyteller, and bring you in at the beginning. So as a kid, I grew up wanting to be Neil Diamond when I grew up, and that is the truth. Until I saw a bunch of high school kids playing fiddle tunes. And I thought, well, that looks kind of fun. And what made it extra special is that they played a tune that I knew for a super nerdy reason. I also really loved the Monkees when I was a kid. And I was born in the wrong decade, okay? So the Monkees had a live album from 1967 on which Peter Tork played the banjo and sang an old-time tune called Cripple Creek. Does anybody remember this? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Really? Yes! All right. So you guys are the first ones to be like, yeah, I know that recording. Yeah, okay. So the reason I wanted to play the fiddle was so that I could play Cripple Creek like Peter Tork. Right? I bet you no one else has that story. Like, I play the violin because of Peter Tork. What? So I'm going to try and play you my version of Peter Tork's Cripple Creek on fiddle. It's been a minute, so let's just see what happens. All right. Oh, there it is. Married a wife in the month of June, married her up by the light of the moon. She lived down on Cripple Creek, we've been down there about a week. I'm going down to Cripple Creek, going on a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going on a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. A Cripple Creek girl's about half grown, jump on a man like a dog on a bone, throw my britches up to my knees. I'm across over Cripple Creek when I please. I'm going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Going down to Cripple Creek, going down a run, going down to Cripple Creek to have some fun. Okay. So this is a big day for this guitar. Thank you. It's new to me, obviously not new to the world. This is a 1936 Kalamazoo KG11 built in the Gibson factory in Kalamazoo. Back in the day, pretty cool. I just got it a month ago, and it hasn't seen an audience yet. So, well, I mean, it's probably seen an audience before, but Not in my hands, unless it's on Facebook at 10:30 at night. So another influence growing up was Gordon Lightfoot. And since I can see Canada, I decided to put this one in the set list. Hang on, somewhere in one of these pockets is a pick. There's one. Sounds pretty cool, right? Oh, jeez. Okay. Let me reach out, love and touch you, let me hold you for a while. I've been all around the world, and how I long to see you smile. There's a shadow on the moon, and the waters here below do not shine the way they should, and I love you just in case you didn't know. Let it go, and let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Won't you lie down by me, baby, run your fingers through my hands. I've been all around the world, and how I long to understand. Is it me or is it you, or the shadows of a dream? Is it wrong to be in love? Could it be the finest love I've ever seen? So let it go, and let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe in me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Please kiss me gently, darling, where the river runs away from the mountains in the springtime on a blue and windy day. With beauty all around and shades of night grow deep. As the morning stars grow dim, they will find us in the shadows fast asleep. So let it go, and let it happen like it happened once before. It's a wicked wind and it chills me to the bone. And if you do not believe in me, come and gaze upon the shadows at your door. Thank you, thank you. So, after I picked up the fiddle, guitar eventually showed up, obviously, and mandolin also became part of the equation, which I'll get to more in a minute. But my orchestra teacher, I grew up in Saline, Michigan. And my orchestra teacher there, his name was Bob Phillips, which I think he grew up around here, actually. No relation. But anyway, one day he brought a mandolin into orchestra class. Instead of playing the violin for us, he played this little guitar-looking thing. And I was instantly obsessed, because I was like that when I was 12. And I said, okay, tell me everything about what that little thing is. And he's like, well, it's a mandolin, and it's tuned like your violin, but there's two of every string, and I have one here if you want to take one home tonight. And I was like, yes, please. So I took it home and learned as many chords as I could, and found my way eventually to a mandolin player named Sam Bush. Okay, yes, you guys are great. You know all my nerdy references. It's awesome. So Sam Bush, I didn't know that he was a singer until years later. But then I found a band that he was a part of called the Newgrass Revival. And is it that one? Anybody? Newgrass Revival? Someone just pretend. Yeah, there we go. Good. Okay. See? What's your favorite song? That one, yeah. So anyway, Sam Bush, big hero of mine. This is one of his songs written by, no, not that song. I'm going to do a different one. Not that Sam Bush song, the other Sam Bush song. The other Sam Bush. Yeah, that one, right? The one in A. Not that anyone cares what key. Yeah, 3 sharps. Okay, this is called Circles Around Me. We were riding down through the grapevine when I heard someone say your name. Hand on my shoulder, just a little bit older now, and I remember everything. High and Telluride, up on Bridal Veil, 10,000 feet above the sound. The news came around and sent me to count all my blessings and to thank you for all the good friends that I'd found. Hey, hey, how in the hell did we get this far? Hey, hey, holding tight to the tail of a shooting star. Hey, hey, you're running circles around me now. Was I dreaming, or did this really happen? I can feel the earth below my feet. The world is turning fast and wild, and like a little newborn baby child who's never known regret or defeat. I am surrounded, I'm tangled in the wires, I'm drawn up tight to the calling and the rising frequency of the silent smiles and laughter of those that came before, and the deafening sound of all this love falling down on me. Hey, hey, how in the hell did we get this far? Hey, hey, holding tight to the tail of the shooting star. Hey, hey, you're running circles around me now. You're running circles around me. Around me now. Thank you. Okay, speaking of mandolin, I know, right? What is that thing? Tell me everything. So, it's true. If you've heard the rumor, mandolins are tuned like a violin. That's a really common rumor, just that everyone knows. Oh, there was a pick there already. So the crazy thing about mandolins is there's 2 of each string. I have no idea why that is. I would really like to get someone on the phone about that one, because it makes tuning them kind of a nightmare. But this sounds like it's in good shape at the moment. Okay. So this is a tune by, if you guys know who Sam Bush is, you probably know who Chris Thile is. Okay, see, all right. So, Chris Thile is probably the greatest mandolin player to ever walk the planet. He can achieve anything on the mandolin, but he's got this beautiful tune called Raining at Sunset that I just love, and I'm gonna play it for you. Gotta get that out of the shot from the cameras. So I went to music school at the University of Michigan as a jazz violin major. There weren't many of us. And after music school, I entered the Michigan folk music singer-songwriter scene as a sideman. That's where the sideman thing started. Playing fiddle with various artists like May Erlewine and Josh Davis and Seth Bernard and Brian Vander Ark, and it's just, you know, whoever wanted my services, I was available. And one of the first ones was a singer-songwriter who now lives in Traverse City named May Erlewine. Anybody know May? You really should. You really need to know May Erlewine. Anyway, she hired me to play fiddle on a song of hers called The River Jordan. And every time I hear this song, I'm taken to every folk music festival stage in northern Michigan. I can see the whole thing, you know. So as part of my solo show, I steal songs from the people I played fiddle for and sing them. So the first one's going to be this River Jordan by May Erlewine. Take my hand, my one, and we'll shove off to the sun. Together we'll run the River Jordan. And with stars in our eyes, we'll sleep under the sky, safe on the banks of the River Jordan. Then when you fall asleep, sleep well, sleep deep. Dreams are always sweet on the River Jordan. And in the morning you'll see light pouring through the trees, shining like a diamond on the River Jordan. Yeah, yeah. This would be where the fiddle plays, but unfortunately I can't do both. I wish I could. Let your troubles go and let them melt with the snow. You won't need them anymore on the River Jordan. And let joy fill your cup, let it fill you right up. You'll have more than enough on the River Jordan. And then when you fall in, baptized of all your sins, oh, we all take a swim on the River Jordan. Then when you're warm and dry, with that spark in your eye, you might give another try to the River Jordan. Yeah, yeah. What I understand, they say the promised land is on the banks of the River Jordan. Well, I must agree, I never felt so free. Just you and me, the river in the morning. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Ah, River Jordan. Okay, so I also mentioned another singer-songwriter, Michigan guy named Joshua Davis. Josh was part of a band called Steppin' In It. They were, and still are, in my opinion, like the Michigan folk singer-songwriter band. If you've not seen Steppin' In It, be on the lookout. They are a powerhouse. Josh Davis was on The Voice on NBC 5-6 years ago or something like that. And he went all the way to the final episode and came in third in the end, which honestly, like the ideal situation with those shows, I've known a couple of people who've been on there, is to get to the last episode and not win. Because NBC owns you for 7 years if you win. And you know, you'd think you win a big national television show like that and suddenly your career is starting and it's gonna take off, but tell me, who won season 6 of The Voice? Anybody? Right? Oh, really? No way. Well, he was on with Josh, right? Yeah. Sawyer sang a May Early song on The Voice, which is incredible. He sang a song of hers called Shine On. Yeah, anyway. So Josh went all the way to the last episode, came in third, and then he came home. He also lives up in Traverse City. And he did a big homecoming show up at Kresge Auditorium at Interlaken, which is a 4,000-seat outdoor amphitheater. It's kind of like Meadowbrook, kind of like that. And he sold it out. And he had me play in the band that day. And that was cool because I went to Interlaken as a student in like 9th grade. And I'd walk through Kresge Auditorium and go, someday. And then it came. So I'm going to steal a Josh Davis song called Goodbye, Betsy Brown. Oh, I found it. It was right there. Don't you cry, sweet little babe, between the heavens and the sea. A gentle wind shall bear me home, I'll soon lie down with thee. When the leaves have lost their color and lie scattered in the field, it's then I'll come calling. I lay down my sword and shield. Lay down my sword and shield. So fare thee well, old Joe Clark, and goodbye, Betsy Brown. My little girl lies across the sea, and I'm gonna leave this town. Trade my rifle for a ring, love. I'll trade my heart in for your hand. I'll wipe the cobwebs from this old guitar and play Joe Clark in a riverboat band. So leave your key upon your doorstep and save me room within your heart. I have not forgotten you these years we've been apart. These years we've been apart. So fare thee well, old Joe Clark, and goodbye, Betsy Brown. My little girl lies across the sea, and I'm gonna leave this town. Fare thee well, old Joe Clark, and goodbye, Betsy Brown. My little girl lies across the sea, and I'm gonna leave this town. One must hydrate. Yeah, go ahead and everybody just take a second, hydrate. or dehydrate, whatever your situation might be. Yeah. So one of the other groups I ended up playing with in Michigan was a band called the Verve Pipe. Okay, all right, this one's gonna be deep, I can tell. So they're famous for one song in particular. They had a few charting hits, but one that all of you have heard. Whether you know it or not, you've heard it. It's one of those songs that is on at the grocery store or wherever you might be, the airport. It's everywhere. Somewhere in the world, that song is playing right now. Yeah, let's see. 2016, they re-recorded their hit album, Villains, from the 90s for like a 20th anniversary kind of thing, live and acoustic at the Arc in Ann Arbor. Played the album straight through, and being that it was live and acoustic, they wanted like a acoustic guy. So that's where I came in, and I played violin on about half the songs on that album, and got to play that little lick from the Freshman on the violin. It's kind of cool. Anyway, just a bit of the Freshmen, so you know who we're talking about here. When I was young, I knew everything. She, a punk who rarely ever took advice. Now I'm guilt-stricken, sobbing with my head on the floor. Stop a baby's breath and a shoe full of rice. No, I can't be held responsible. She was touching her face. I won't be held responsible. She fell in love in the first place. For the life of me, I cannot remember what made us think that we were wise and we'd never compromise. For the life of me, I cannot believe we'd ever die for these sins. We were merely freshmen. Right? You've heard that. I know you have. Yeah. So great. And Brian Vander Ark sings that song like it's the first time every time. It's amazing. I stood right over here from him and watched him just, I can't quite hit it like he does, but man, does he ever go for it like his soul depends on it every time. Very inspiring, very cool. So the Verve Pipe, they still play quite a bit. And I toured with them maybe half a dozen times or so. And they'd usually be like a weekend warrior run, which is what we call in the biz, weekend warrior. You leave on like a Thursday, play Friday, Saturday maybe, and then drive home Sunday. One of the tours took us to the Southwest. We played in Roswell, New Mexico, of all random places. I'm realizing in this moment that this story is supposed to happen in the middle of this next song. I'm breaking my own pattern. Apologies. Now you all know. Anyway, part of the show, Brian would stay up on stage and play one of their songs acoustic with his guitar, and the rest of us would leave. But I wouldn't go very far because this song, it's crushingly sad, first of all, and gorgeous. It's so pretty. It's like the lyrics and the melody and the way he played it and sang it are just so perfectly complemented with one another. I would watch him do it every time, and the rest of the band's like, yeah, we've seen him do this like 500 times. So this is a Verve Pipe song called Underneath. Anybody know this one? No. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. And this is an octave mandolin, by the way. Looks like a guitar. It's an octave mandolin, which means it's an octave down from this guy. See how that works? Among the crumpled tissues, white like daisies, fell like soldiers dead determined. I surrender. CD cases broken in a desperate chance to find the perfect ballad to move you. Fight with little purpose, only meaning to scratch the surface. It's not pretty underneath. There among debris, find casual and casualty. It's not pretty underneath. A bottle meant for two, glass that's full of legs but free of any fingerprints from you. Neighbor once heard pounding on the walls, now lulled to sleep by lowered voices, is waking. Fight with little purpose, only meaning to scratch the surface. It's not pretty underneath. There among debris, find casual and casualty. It's not pretty underneath. My eyes are on your hands. I'm helpless when I'm looking at you. Be very, very careful not to scratch the seals from last year's arguments. They don't hold a candle to the ones from this year. A disagreement used to be a speed bump on a highway going 80. Fight with little purpose, only meaning to scratch the surface. It's not pretty underneath. There among debris, find casual and casualty. It's not pretty underneath. Okay, so now it's time for the Roswell story. This is where it's supposed to happen, but I jumped ahead, and I'm sorry. So you fly to Albuquerque, and you get in a rental van with 8 people, and you start driving east, and then you start driving south, and then you drive through the most nothing that there is in this whole world. I've never been terrified by the nothingness out the window. You can see forever, and there are not any rest stops or any cities or anything. I remember we passed one post office in the middle of nowhere, and somehow it was a functioning post office somewhere in the middle of the desert. Anyway, eventually on the horizon you see a Walmart. And outside the Walmart is a giant inflatable alien. And then you get to Denny's, then you get to the Best Western, and every business has an inflatable alien outside because you're in Roswell. And Roswell is famous for only one thing, right? I will tell you that the sale of inflatable aliens is what sustains the economy there. But we played in a rock club there for about 200 people. Played the Villains records, top to bottom, and they were like crying. They loved it so much. It was crazy. And then they all disappeared and went back to wherever they're from. And the opposite of the Roswell experience would have probably been the East Coast. We played in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Okay, see where I'm going with this? This is going to be the Springsteen through line for any of you playing along at home. We played at the Stone Pony, which is Springsteen's home venue, right? Stone Pony is a white brick building with a black awning out front. It looks like it's midnight and raining, even in the middle of the day. When you get there, it's just a dark, dank place. You go inside, and it's like they shut it down in the 80s, but people still go there. You know, like it's like 45 years of Heineken under your feet, and like the ceiling tiles are wet and gonna fall on you. But anyway, you're in a place like that with such history, and you start to think about where songs like this next one come from. You can see the scenes from the song happening over in the corner or over at the bar or outside. Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Does he do to you the things that I do? I can take you higher. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, edgy and dull, and cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. And at night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Oh, you cool my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Okay. Story continues. Where am I at on time? 5-minute break. Oh, sure. Right now? Yeah, that's actually perfect. Let's take a 5-minute break. To be continued. All right. We'll see you in 5. I have CDs for sale, so check them out. Where are they? That way. They're that way. Yes. Okay, cool. See you in 5 minutes. All right. How was your 5-ish minutes? Good. Welcome back. Last time. Yeah. Oh gosh, not really, no. No, but I'll be playing more fiddle tunes here, don't you worry. Yeah. So, picking up where we left off here, sometime around 2009 or so, I was, where was I? No, it's 2007. I played the Ann Arbor Folk Festival with that Irish band, Millish, where I met the MC for the night, whose name was Jeff Daniels. And he really loved Millish. He thought it was great. And later that summer, Millish was playing up at Bliss Fest, which is way up by like Petoskey. And Jeff Daniels was playing. And I saw him backstage, and I was like, hey, we met at Hill Auditorium in Ann Arbor. Cool guitar. What kind of guitar is that? And he just handed it to me. It was like a 1930-something Martin that was rebuilt and all this stuff. And he remembered Millish and invited me to play a few songs with him at Bliss Fest. So I played some mandolin on a song called The Ballad of the Buckless Youper. The Big Bay Shuffle. Yeah, right? Some of you have experienced the Big Bay Shuffle? Oh yeah, me too, believe me. And another one called Michigan, My Michigan. And it went really well, and it was so fun, and I wrote my phone number on a napkin with a Sharpie, so it was real legible, right? And gave it to him. I was like, hey, that was fun, let's do that again. He was like, yeah, that'd be great. And he folded the napkin and put it in his pocket. And I thought, okay, well, that's going to go through the laundry. But then, like 2 years later, I saw him at an event at the Purple Rose Theater in Chelsea, and he was like that from across the room, and I was like, yeah, remember that? And I went and talked to him. I was like, hey, let's play. You still want to, 2 years ago, want to do that thing again? And he's like, oh yeah, hold on. He pulls out his iPhone, which was, it was like iPhone 2 at the time, and I was in his phone. And the number was correct, so I must have written clearly enough on the napkin. So anyway, he invited me to play on some fundraisers, live and unplugged at Purple Rose that year. And we put together like a 2-hour set of music, mandolin and guitar and voice. And that summer we toured in his RV. We did like a 10-day tour around the Midwest and down to Nashville. And that pattern continued. We'd tour a couple times a year for a few years. And in 2014, he booked a series of shows at a place called 54 Below in New York City, which is like a little dinner, supper club kind of thing right off of Broadway there. That's that? Somebody was there? Anybody been there? No.
We were there in New York when he was there, but we didn't see him.
Oh, got it. Okay. Gotcha. So 54 Below, right? Super cool little supper club. It was in the basement of what used to be Studio 54. And we used to play this song called Road Signs, which was a poem originally written by the playwright Lanford Wilson that Jeff then set to music. And one of the performances, the New York Times was there, and they reviewed our show. Now, they could have not cared about the little mandolin guy next to the big star, but they mentioned me favorably in the New York Times, which was really nice. And it was particularly for this song, Road Signs. So I'm going to play a little bit of it here. It's quite a tale. See if I can truncate it at all. Two 5-year-olds are fighting a gun battle in the aisle. Their mother's been talking about refrigerators for 50 miles. Retired bartender showing photos of his bar. Black girls wailing and bending our ears to the top 10 tunes from the past 10 years. She's going to Detroit to be a star. And she says, me, and my sister, we strut our stuff. Those Motown jivers, they got nothing on us. I was singing, my, 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 my. The driver's telling his life story to the sympathetic aunt. He'd like to concentrate on the highway if he can, but he can't. And Grandma says I was married when I was just 15. Then a bony recruit from Fort Leonard Wood for 3 hours straight's been doing all he could to make a roly-poly bleached blonde named Darlene. He says, well, I'll write to you if you write to me. And then their hands disappeared past Kankakee. From the flailing around, he was finally getting off, I trust. I was singing, my, 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 my. The country slips by the window. The misty morning will burn off by 8 o'clock. The flashers are flashing and them reapers are reaping. On this blue-green glass we're sleeping past the cedars and houses, rivers and trailers and rock. And does anybody know what's going down when you leave the drive into Greyhound? Thank you. So that's about half the song. There's a whole like bridge section in the last verse, and it's on one of my albums if you want to hear the rest. Just saying. So, okay, so inevitably, I'm working with Jeff, I'm around the Purple Rose Theater, and one day a director looks at me and says, you're an actor and you didn't know it until right now. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yep, we see something in you that you don't see yet, and we're going to put you in a show next year because we need a guy who plays and does all the things you do. So take the acting class, and we'll get you a script, and we're going to turn you into an actor. It'll be great. Okay, buddy. And I'm like, all right. So this represents a big turning point in the story. Did not see theater coming. Didn't see it. Wasn't seeking it. I was hiding from it, actually. But they cast me in this show called Willow Run, which was a play about Rosie the Riveter during World War II. And I was not only in the show, but I was also a musical director and a composer and guitarist and violinist and all this stuff. Dancer. I was a dancer as well. But up until this point, as an artist, I didn't see myself as an artist. I saw myself as a skilled tradesman. I was a plumber with a violin, right? My participation in the arts was to serve the vision of other people. And this whole time, that little kid who wanted to be Neil Diamond was still in there. And I'm watching all these singers all these years from the side thinking, that's what I really want to do. That's what I really want to do. And I tried writing songs over the years, and I would I'm gonna sing a song about the ceiling. And well, Jesus. Well, no one can ever hear that. And then you try again, and it's like, okay, we'll just try a different vibe. Toothpaste, no. So what I had to do was get out of my own way and trust myself. And in theater, you can't be an actor unless you stand firmly in your authentic, truthful self and let the people see you just as that, right? So we're in rehearsals, and we're practicing just seeing each other. and we're practicing just being seen. And my heart is exploding, right? And my character in the show, I played the ghost of the boyfriend of I was the dead boyfriend bomber pilot. That was my role. I was a ghost. They couldn't see me in the show until they did. And in rehearsals, there was like this whole dance thing, and we were working on building the characters and trying to find our emotional grenades to make all the stuff, painful and meaningful. And I went home from rehearsal one day, and I'm like doing the dishes, and this little riff started coming up in my head. So I dropped the, whatever, ladle, and went and picked up the guitar. And this song fell out of me in about 20 minutes. Blue sky all around you. Your spirit holds the air. One look from above you has God singing your prayers. We can't be together tonight, but I feel you by my side. Today was just another day too far away from you, and if I ever get to sleep tonight in my dreams, we'll dance again and again, again, again and again. We'll dance again and again. Another day in the distance, flying overhead. My heart longs for your presence. Lying in this bed, I can feel your eyes look back at mine, and the warmth of your hands and your sigh. I take a breath and bring you in and dream of the day when you and I will be together again, and we'll dance again and again, again, again and again. We'll dance again and again. So then the run of the show ends. That song became the theme of the show. And when the show ends, you've poured your whole heart into it for months. And you have to let it go. You have to say goodbye to it. So about 2 months after the show closed, I woke up in the middle of the night with that same pull in my heart back toward the guitar. And a third verse came, and it was the release. When I see you above me, down here on the ground, I release you to the heavens and listen to the sound of the wind as it pulls you from my side. while the sun sets like beams from your eyes. These embers in my chest have finally turned into ash, and I'll leave them here in the dust. I'll leave them here if I must, but you'll be with me. When I set you free, and we'll dance again and again, again, again and again. We'll dance again and again and again and again and again and again. Evelyn, Evelyn, Thank you, thank you. So I'm in the middle of recording that song now, and it'll be released sometime in the next couple of months. So follow me on Facebook for the latest updates. How are we doing on time here? Let's see. Okay, we're almost there. So I've got this pile of original material now, right? I'll do one more of those, and then another blast of tunes. How about that? All right. Y'all hanging in there? Cool. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. All right. Summer 2020, I had a weekly gig at Sava's restaurant in Ann Arbor. And I would sit out in the street out there and play music for whoever was there. Sometimes people would listen, sometimes they wouldn't. When they wouldn't, I would make up stories about the lights in the apartment building and like what those people are doing, and maybe they're up there listening. Maybe they wait for this every week. Maybe this is their one piece of sanity every week, because remember, summer 2020 was crazy, right? Every night I would finish with Amazing Grace on the violin. Every week, Saturday night at 9:30, I would just send it soaring out into the street. And I started thinking, like, what if those people in those windows wait for that specifically? And that's where this song came from. Benny takes his dress shoes off tonight. Managed to look out toward the light. He sits down by the open window and notices the time, hoping for his weekly peace of mind. Sarah's watching New Girl on her bed, wishing for someone to hold instead. Every week she listens for him down in the street, waiting for his heart to mend her mind. One last song, one last wish. Put down that guitar, my friend, and play the violin. How sweet the sound, filling all the streets downtown. I hope he plays Amazing Grace tonight. Caitlin's got the night off at home. She lost her dear old dad all alone. Back home they send him off into the great unknown, while Caitlin watches crying on the phone. One last song, one last wish. Put down that guitar, my friend, and play the violin. How sweet the sound, filling all the streets downtown. I hope he plays Amazing Grace tonight. Paper cards and online calls, Netflix, Hulu, Zoom, masked up halls and paint glass walls, closed up music halls, sanitized and victimized. Please heed our desperate call and make us feel something real. And help us find a way to heal. One last song, one last wish. Put down that guitar, my friend, and play the violin. How sweet the sound, filling all the streets downtown. I hope he plays Amazing Grace tonight. 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 I know, right? All right. Well, thank you all. This has been so good for my heart. I hope it's been good for yours. Thank you, Leah, and everybody here at the War Memorial. I played here last fall outside, and I see they stripped the land where we played out there, so I don't know, something went wrong. I don't know. It's things I think of. Really grateful. Thank you again. Leah, where are you, Leah? Is she somewhere? She's off in the distance somewhere. Oh, I'm right there. Whoa, weird. That's crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to play you a blast of tunes here. I guess I'll start with Amazing Grace. That seems to make sense. I know, right? And then we'll tear into some Irish tunes, to be determined. Here we go. Thank you, everybody. Let's hear it for Sean on sound and Michael running video. Thank you, Leah. Thank you to everybody. Have a great night. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Take care of each other. On iTunes, yes. Yep. Yeah, I don't either. I don't know why I made them.